It has done nothing but rain. Alright, what's today? Mother's Day. May 12th, 2019. After the last episode when my shear clamp broke at the epoxy scarf, I decided to take another tack. I thought long and hard about it, and so we decided to go with Douglas Fir. And I called my local lumber yard and I ordered a 16-foot piece of 2x6 Douglas Fir. I have milled it down. These are one continuous piece. I bought the grade A stuff, the select, and you can see that I've got one of the pieces down here soaking in the pond and has been for about 36 hours now. This little deck that I'm standing on, this is typically not underwater, but it works out perfect for what I'm doing. So I've pulled the other one out of here already. They're symmetrical and pretty evening. My foot's getting wet. This water's way, way up. It's not supposed to be this high. Okay, this is my old steam box that I had that was 8 foot. It's made out of a 8 foot 1x6, two 1x6s and two 1x8s. So it makes it about 7 inches in diameter, probably 6.5 on the inside. And I just basically went and bought some more lumber and made another half. And I've just got them pieced together here in the middle. And my duct tape's already failing. I don't think that's from steam, though. I think I just didn't get it all the way down good. I've got some plastic, that high temperature plastic that I used to boil in the bag before, kind of holding that joint together. And I've got the port side dudes in here. So I don't know if you can see in there, but that runs pretty much that whole length. And I've got a steam tube coming out of this side. It hasn't started steaming. I can hear it boiling in the wallpaper steamer over here. Right there. And this one over here, I got a second one. And that one is coming up into the back end of this side. So we're going to have steam coming on both ends of this, and hopefully get this thing bent in. Boat's right here. We're going to do port side first, so hopefully we'll get that bent in this evening. Here we are bringing in the shear clamp fresh out of the steam box. This 16-foot piece of Douglas Fir, well, it's actually 186 inches. This was in the steam box for about 2 hours, and not a limp piece of stock, but pretty bendable. We really didn't have much problem. I'm going to have to do a minor cut back there in the back to get it to fit down just right at the transom. But otherwise it went in pretty smoothly. I do believe, make a couple of small cuts on the starboard one before we try to put it in. It needs to come this way a little bit. And it's actually still soaking in the pond. Being that this was the second one that I had fashioned, it was considerably easier to get the bevels and to plane it down, just because I'd already done it. And the Douglas Fir was easier to work than the white oak. I don't go to any description in this video about how to put the bevels on the shear clamp, which you do long before you soak or steam. For that information, just see the previous couple of videos. There's, I believe, parts 1 and 2 of fashioning the bevels for the shear clamp, and I actually just did the same thing on this, but didn't feel the need to re-record it.
Think about that. We made the wiggle and everything. So way better than the last time.
And this one won't.
Huh?
This one won't come all the way in.
Let me see.
You can feel the wood cooling as you're working it. You'll notice that we were using gloves and hot mitts to hold on to the wood, but it didn't stay super hot very long, which created a sense of urgency where you felt like you needed to get it bent in really fast, but in actuality we really had quite a bit of time. I was so fearful of this being too short that I made it a little too long. And quite honestly, there's a lot of room to play up there between the first frame and the stem, because there's a breast hook that will fit over the top of that. So I didn't want to leave it too short, but I did have to cut up there in the front, and I'm going to have to cut back by the transom.
Oh, perfect.
And the lesson there is I'm going to trim the other one before I put it in. You'll notice that we still have those little maybe 2 to 3 inch pieces of oak that are just leftover pieces of frame that I then screwed into the existing frame that gives us something to clamp onto to push it down. You can see right there where I'm using that little tab that's screwed in the frame to pull the shear clamp down.
That one's right on the line there. You know what? It's close enough. If I have to, I'll trim a teeny bit of that off of there. Look at that. That's right on the line. That's right on the line. And then when we get.
Talk to your camera, baby.
Oh, still videotaping. Thank you, Lily.
You didn't tell me to stop.
Yeah, no, we're good. I think we're good.
Does that mean stop?
A big thank you to Lila for her help with videoing. You did a super job. And my wife Carrie for helping me get this thing bed in. Finally, we have success.